different time. But before I begin, last night I did a presentation for the South Atlantic Conference on the COVID virus. I did some research, and according to the Bahamas, you're supposed to wear a mask when you leave your house. Is that correct?
Yes.
According to the Ministry of Health, everyone who leaves their residency has to wear a mask. And I'd like to give you some information about the mask. Why is that important? If it's important to you, go like this. If the mask is important to you, just go like this so I can know. Dr. Scavala has 50 people. But I'd like to talk about that for a little bit. Why is the mask so important? Why choosing the mask is so important? The virus, listen, the virus is 0.12 microns in diameter. It's really 0.08 to 0.12 microns in diameter. Do you know how small that is? If you look at the millimeter on your ruler, the millimeters, between 1 and 2 millimeters, not centimeters, not inches, between 1 and 2 millimeters, if you divide that space into 1,000 equal parts, the virus is equal to just one of those parts, 0.12 microns. Well, you need to have a device that shields us from that 0.12 microns. This is the N, many of you have seen this, N95. The CDC recommends N95, and it says right there, N95, because it covers the whole face and prevents air from getting through the sides. This prevents 95% of the virus from getting through because the holes prevent organisms at 0.05 micron. Anything bigger than 0.05, this will stop it 95% of the time. Then you have this, which I like, but have you ever worn this? Ever worn this? I suffocate. You can't breathe. You get hot. You get hyperventilated. I don't like these, but you have to use it according to the CDC. And I like this type here. Have you seen this type here? It has little valves in it. This is 91% efficient. 91% efficient. Then there are these, which are 85% efficient. And then there are these cloth ones, which are 78% efficient. Dr. Scavala has for you, can you hold it up for me? Hold up your mask. He has for you these masks here to give you these 78 to 81% efficient. If you wear them, the mask is not necessary to protect you. It protects someone else if you have a cold or a cough. It is important for both of you to wear these masks because if you cough your mask, that's protection for you. The other person has their mask on. Listen to this. If I'm talking now, you're in front of me, I have aerosol in the air, and they stay in the air for 3 hours. The COVID virus stays in the air for 3 hours. So if you're around me and I'm talking and I don't have a mask, you are at risk of developing the COVID virus. On copper, it is for 4 hours. Copper is for 4 hours. On cardboard, it stays for 24 hours. You know those packages you get from America and you get them? Well, on them, it can stay for 24 hours. The good news is, if you put these packages in the sunlight, the ultraviolet light will destroy the virus. Plastic, it lasts for 3 days. Stainless steel, it lasts for 3 days. So it's all around you. It is 0.12 microns in diameter, very, very small. That is why I put it to wash your hands, to wear the right mask, and to avoid contact. Do you understand? Is that all right with everyone? Okay. Now, let's talk about what you don't want to hear about. It is high blood pressure. It is prevalent in the Bahamas, 21%. As I said, I apologize for not, I thought it was high blood pressure. But I come back to talk about diabetes, right? Okay, let's talk about high blood pressure. Only half of the people with high blood pressure are under control. Half are under control. About 7 over every 10 people having disease will eventually develop heart attack. 7 10 people who have blood pressure, if not controlled, will develop a heart attack. About 8 out of 10 people who do not have their blood pressure under control will develop a stroke. So heart attack and stroke because of uncontrolled high blood pressure. Kidney disease, going on dialysis. One of the leading causes of going on dialysis is having your blood pressure not under control. There was an article published in the Journal of Health Promotion in 2019 that said that it cost $131 billion to take care of people with high blood pressure. That's B with a billion. Now, what is the normal blood pressure? Normal blood pressure will be determined if you're diabetic or not a diabetic. If you are not a diabetic, the normal blood pressure would be 140/90. If you are a diabetic, it will be 130/80. Nowadays, in the past 5 years, we've changed that. A normal blood pressure, if you're diabetic or not, is less than 130/80. So if you go to your doctor and your blood pressure is above 130/80, you're considered to have high blood pressure. Well, how do you control high blood pressure? Would you like to know how to control high blood pressure? Just shake your head if you want to know if you can have blood pressure, okay?
Yes.
Or say, well, 10 ways that you can control blood pressure. But I'm going to give you the research, and the research did not come from Loma Linda. It didn't come from the Mayo Clinic, non-Adventist. According to the Mayo Clinic, I'm going to tell you 10 ways you can control your blood pressure. And I'm going to give you a surprise. Of the 10 ways, 60% of these that I'm going to tell you, we're already doing as Adventists. What did I say? Of the 10 ways I'm going to tell you, 60%, 6 of the ways I'm going to tell you, we are already doing at Seventh-day Adventists. Number 1, the first one, according to Mayo Clinic, 10 ways to control blood pressure. Number 1 is to lose weight. Lose weight. Lose 10% of your body weight. Whatever your weight is, goal is to lose 10% of the body weight. No, I'm sure, myself including, I've tried this. It doesn't work all the time. I bought a treadmill. It is by my television, and I hang my clothes on it. Sound familiar? Losing weight. You need to lose at least 10% of your body weight. Suppose I could tell you how to lose 3 pounds a week. Would you like that? How would you like to lose? Yeah, like 3 pounds a week. Okay, you got to write this down now. Okay, I'm going to tell, this is proven in my practice. I'm going to tell you how you lose 3 pounds a week for these 4 weeks. Number 1, no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. No bread, no milk, no cheese, no butter in any form. Number 1. Number 2, nothing white. Become prejudiced. If it's white, you don't eat it. Okay? So you don't eat pasta. You don't eat potatoes. You don't eat, what else is white? If it's white, you just don't eat it. So no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. Nothing white. You must drink 8 glasses of water every day. 16 ounces of water every day. And this is important because as you're losing the weight, the body produces poisons that you must get rid of. And you get rid of it through your urine and through your stool. So if you don't flush your system out, the poisons can develop in your kidneys and you get kidney stones, or it can get into your gallbladder and cause gallstones. So you must flush the system. You have to go to the bathroom regularly. That's good. So no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. Nothing white. You must drink 16 ounces of water every day. Number 4, you must fast on Wednesdays after lunch. So you eat a breakfast, you eat a lunch, and you don't eat anything else until Thursday morning. That's why you need to go to prayer meeting. No, this is serious. Because if you go home, you're going to be tempted. You're going to see the fridge. The fridge is going to open the door for you, and you're going to eat everything that's in the house because you're going to be starving. You're going to say, Dr. Barry's trying to kill me. No. On Wednesday afternoon, after lunch, you drink your water, but nothing solid. Go to prayer meeting. You go home, guess what you do? You go straight to bed. Don't pass the kitchen. Go straight to bed because you will feel that you're killing yourself. It's not true. Then that was so no bread, milk, cheese, or butter, nothing white. You drink the water. You fast on Wednesdays at noon. The 5th thing is you weigh yourself every Thursday morning in your underwear. You weigh yourself every Thursday morning in your underwear. But that's the important weight. When you go to the doctor's office, you have clothes on, you have jeans on. It's not a good weight. But when you weigh yourself with your underwear on in the morning, that's a good weight. Now, By not this, you will lose 3 pounds a week by not exercising. If you exercise, you lose more. Now, of course, no caffeine, no sodas. No caffeine, no sodas. If you do that, you will qualify for the first thing on the Mayo Clinic to lose weight. So let me repeat that. According to the Mayo Clinic, if you want to control your blood pressure, you got to lose weight. You can lose 3 pounds a week by doing no bread and milk, cheese, or butter in any form. Nothing white. Drinking the 8 glasses of water a day. No fasting on Wednesday afternoon. No, and Wednesday, Thursday morning, no caffeine. You got it? Number 2. The second thing you can do to lose weight is, to get your blood pressure under control, is to exercise. Well, I've tried it. I joined a gym, and I was enjoying the gym, and then the COVID virus came on board. And now I stay home. People are staying home. My patients are gaining from 5 to 10 pounds over the past 3 months. 5 to 10 pounds. And why? They're staying home. The refrigerator automatically opens, and the food just shoves into your mouth by a miracle. 5 to 10 pounds. Well, according to the Mayo Clinic, you got to stop that. You got to exercise. If you have a stair, walk up and down the stair 2 or 3 times a day. Do you guys have Walmart out there? Walmart or shopping center? Well, if you go to the shopping center, don't park in the handicap area because you don't have a handicap sticker. Go park down the road and walk into the supermarket. That's exercising. But to exercise correctly, you can't make it a job. People say, well, Dr. Berry, I work and that's exercise to me. No, that's not exercise. That's work. Okay? That's not exercise. Exercise is doing an activity for 20 to 30 minutes uninterrupted, bringing your heart rate above 100 and keeping it there for the 20 to 30 minutes. Exercise is doing something that the body exercising for 20 to 30, at least 3 times a week, getting your heart rate above 100. Now, before I go on, let me say this. Don't engage in any activity until you've talked to your doctor. Because if you already have high blood pressure and you start exercising, your blood pressure is going to go up. So you're at risk of having problems. So make sure your doctor knows you're going to be able to exercise and gives you permission. Is that understandable? Do you understand that? Don't get in any major exercise program unless you talk to your doctor. Okay? So exercise for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And how do you know it's successful? How do you know you're burning off fat when you exercise? If after you exercise, you have a slight sweat on your forehead, you've burnt off fat. The slight sweat, if you're doing a lot, if you're sweating a lot, that's very good. But the minimum is a slight perspiration on your forehead. It means that your body is burning off fat to give you energy. So number 1, lose weight. Number 2, exercise. Are you already the exercise part? You understand the exercise part? Number 3, according to the Mayo Clinic now, not Adventist, not Loma Linda, not Andrews. According to the Mayo Clinic, the 3rd thing you need to do to control your blood pressure is to become a vegetarian. Did you hear what I said? Not Adventist now. This is the Mayo Clinic. It said to become a vegetarian. The vegetarian diet helps you to lose weight and to keep your blood pressure under control. Who knew that? Ellen White knew that. We all knew that. But are we doing that? No. How many of you in your minds are vegetarians? I'm telling you, becoming a vegetarian is going to help you with your health because there's no fat in vegetables and fruit. The fat is in the meat. Loma Linda has done a study that shows that vegetarians live longer, have less heart attack, less stroke, less ovarian cancer, less prostate cancer, and less colon cancer. Vegetarians. Now, there are 3 types of vegetarians, one of which I don't agree with, but there are 3 types of vegetarians. There's the lacto-ovo-vegetarian. These are the vegetarians who will eat the products of animals like milk, cheese, butter, which you can't do during this diet. Milk, cheese, but these are the lacto-ovo-vegetarians. Then there's a vegetarian like myself. I'm a vegan. The vegan don't even eat the products of animals. I was flying from the Bahamas to California, and I rented a video called Forks Over Knives. And what the health. Pastor, I said, what the health. Okay? I didn't say the other thing. I said, what the health. I watched that video and I was trying, it was 33,000 feet and I was flying over and I read the video. By the time I landed, I was a vegan. I was a vegetarian for most of my life. But when I watched that video, what's the video called again? I heard you, Pastor. What the health. I watched the video, and when I landed in, it was Orlando. When I landed, vegan. Now, why is it important that you become a vegan? Because the fruit and vegetables contain antioxidants. What's an antioxidant? Well, the body produces free radicals. Free radicals are poisons that the body tries to get rid of. When the cell metabolizes it, it produces these free radicals. These free radicals are dangerous to the cells. It destroys cells. It destroys your system. And the body needs to get rid of it. Well, when you eat meat, guess what's in the meat? Free radicals. So the body is producing free radicals. The meat you eat produces free radicals. So the little vegetables you eat, the little fruit you eat on top of that tries to get rid of not only the body's free radicals, but the meat you're eating also. So if you do away with the meat, the free radicals that your body produces naturally will be eliminated by the fruits, the vegetables, and the nuts. Choose fruits that are colorful, like blackberries, like strawberries, like blueberries, and like raspberries. All of these fruits that are very colorful contain a high concentration of antioxidants. These antioxidants grab onto the free radicals and eliminate them in your urine and your feces. Do you see why now you need to drink water? Because all these free radicals are going to be eliminated through your urine and in your stool through your gallbladder. So according to the Mayo Clinic, if you become a vegetarian, that will help you lose weight and also control your blood pressure. So number one, lose weight. Number two, exercise. Number three, become a vegetarian. Number four, according to the Mayo Clinic, one of the ways to control your blood pressure is to lower your sodium intake. Lower their sodium intake. If you're a Caucasian, you should eat no more than 2,300 milligrams a day. But if you're of the darker complexion, like us, it should be less than 1,500 a day. Now that's less than half a teaspoon. Now, do you see your French fries you're eating tonight? Full of salt. What do you put on your carrots and stuff? Salt. According to the Mayo Clinic, you should eat less than 1,500 milligrams a day. Lose weight, exercise, vegetarian diet, low salt diet. Now, I told you there are 10 ways. I've only given you 4 so far, therefore 6 are left. I'm going to tell you now the next 6, according to the Mayo Clinic, we as Seventh-day Adventists are already doing. Number 5 says, according to the Mayo Clinic, if you want to lower your blood pressure and be healthier, you should not drink any alcohol. Cha-ching! Oh, do you guys have cha-ching there? You know what cha-ching means? You know what cha-ching means? Okay, cha-ching means that the offering plate has come by and you put a lot in it. It means that you're ready for the potluck. Cha-ching! No alcohol. Because alcohol is bad for your system. It also makes you dehydrated. Number 6, no tobacco. Cha-ching! We're doing these things. And this is not Loma Linda. This is not Adventism. This is the Mayo Clinic. So the Mayo Clinic says lose weight, exercise, vegetarian diet, low sodium diet, no alcohol, no tobacco. Number 7, no caffeine. Cha-ching! Now I gotta tell you, sometimes I love a Coca. I used to love a Coca-Cola. Man, it goes down your throat and it itches you as it's going down. It's so delicious. I used to love a Coca-Cola. And I would say, Pastor, since I'm an elder and a missionary going to far out places to the church, I need to stay awake when I'm driving. So I drink a Coca-Cola to stay awake. The caffeine keeps me awake. Is that good, Pastor? Is that a good reason? No! No! It's not because I can't sleep afterwards. I can't get my rest. So I've cut out Coca-Cola. Man, that was the hardest thing. That was the hardest. Some people have a lot of sins in their lives. I couldn't. It was a hard thing to stop the Coca-Cola. And not Pepsi, anything against caffeine, I will not drink. So the Mayo Clinic, lose weight, exercise, vegetarian diet, no alcohol, no tobacco, no caffeine. Number 8, according to the Mayo Clinic, the way to keep your blood pressure under control to be healthier is to decrease stress. Okay, now, I told you in the beginning to go and Google. What did I tell you to Google? What did I tell you to Google? Telomere. Get your pictures up together. Look at the telomere. The picture of the telomere shows a chromosome, and at the end of the chromosome, there's DNA. Do you see the DNA at the end of the chromosome? That's called a telomere. Every chromosome has a bunch of DNA at the end of the chromosome called a telomere. Do you see it? Just nod your head if you all see it. Do you all see the telomere at the end of the chromosome? Those of you who signed on late, serves you right. You should have signed on earlier. Look up the telomere. The telomere, go to Google telomere, T-E-L-O-M-E-R-E. Well, as the cell divides, each time a cell divides, the telomere is shortened. When the telomere is no longer in existence, the cell that has that chromosome dies. You understanding me so far? Shake your head if you're understanding me so far. So as the cell divides, every time the cell divides, little piece of the telomere is chopped off. And if all the telomere is gone, the cell dies. No more cell. So if we could keep the telomere long, the cell will live forever. You hear what I'm saying now? If the telomere can be kept long, the cells will live forever. Well, there is an enzyme called telomerase. Telomerase shortens the telomere. Are you following me so far, or is it going over your head? Telomerase shortens the telomere. And if the telomere is shortened, the cell dies. Have I lost you, or are you all right? Just shake your head, or good. All right, okay, good, okay. Now, if we could decrease the amount of telomerase in the cell, that will prevent the telomere from shortening and the cell dying. You follow me? Well, guess what? When we are under stress, your adrenal gland secretes a hormone called aldosterone. Don't bother write this down, just listen to me. Aldosterone increases telomerase function. Listen carefully now. Aldosterone increases telomerase function. Therefore, aldosterone released under stress will increase the destruction of the telomere, which will shorten its life and destroy the cell. You can die because of stress. Stress in your life can literally kill you because of the adrenal gland secreting aldosterone, which stimulates the telomerase, which shortens the telomere, which kills the cell. But we as Seventh-day Adventists, we have a stress relief every 7 days. Because of our belief, because of our trust in God, because of us keeping the commands of God as God has said, every 7 days we have a stress reliever. We also have one in the middle of the week, like what we're doing now. But on Sabbaths, from Friday night to Saturday night, it's supposed to be a stress reliever. Now, I know ministers are stressed on Sabbath because they have to preach. They probably rest on Sunday, but still we're not talking about that. Pastor, I'm sorry, okay? Well, but usually we rest on Sabbath. We don't watch TV. We don't look at our phones. We don't read the newspaper. When people start talking about business, we say, no, that's for tomorrow. That's for after midnight. We have a stress relief system in Seventh-day Adventists believe that is helping us control our health and our high blood pressure. God knew what he was doing when he did this. Do I hear?
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Stress is an important factor in increasing our blood pressure and causing us to live shorter lives. So decrease the stress, decrease the aldosterone, decrease the telomerase, and so the cells can live longer. Now, there's a problem with this because cancer cells have turned off the telomerase. So because cancer cells keep growing and growing and growing, the telomerase has been turned. And research right now is trying to figure out a way to, in cancer cells, to turn back on the telomerase so that we can take care of cancer cells. That's new research that's going on right now. So how do you increase the telomere and keep it lengthened? This is what you need to do. Vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, and omega-3 fatty acids. Vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin C, and omega-3 fatty acids. These vitamins help reduce telomerase and extend the telomere. Got that? So, according to the Mayo Clinic, lose weight, exercise, vegetarian diet, low sodium diet, no alcohol, cha-ching, no tobacco, cha-ching, no caffeine. I don't hear you guys saying cha-ching.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Decrease stress.
Cha-ching.
Number 9, according to the Mayo Clinic, number 9 is regular monitoring of your blood pressure at home. If any of you have high blood pressure and don't have a blood pressure machine, something is wrong. You have to regularly monitor your blood pressure. Every morning before breakfast, you take your blood pressure. It should be below 130/90, 130/80. So according to the Mayo Clinic, you all need to have a blood pressure machine. And I give my patients all blood pressure machines if they have high blood pressure and can't afford it. Blood pressure machine. That's number 9. Number 10 is, according to the Mayo Clinic, the number 10 thing that will help prevent or control your blood pressure is support from family and friends. Support from family and friends. So let's review those. According to the Mayo Clinic, there are 10 ways to control high blood pressure. To lose weight, to exercise, vegetarian diet, low sodium diet, no alcohol, no tobacco, no caffeine, to decrease stress, regular monitoring of the blood pressure at home, and support of family and friends. Now, I'm going to open it for questions.
Okay, we thank Dr. Berry for this. Dr. Berry and I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. And in fact, I was his youth leader at one point. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Berry. And we have our question and answer period now. So I would really like for you to put in on the participants section. I would like you to put in your questions, and we'll be looking out for your questions. But Dr. Berry, you covered 10 very important areas. And I think that you did an excellent job. You did it with a lot of life and energy. I'm so glad that you're actually practicing all 10 as well.
Isaac.
That's just wonderful. My name is Dr. Tony Frankson, and I work at the University of the West Indies, the School of Clinical Medicine and Research right here in the Bahamas, in Nassau. It's a part of the whole UWI system that goes all the way down to Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. So welcome again, every one of you. And if you have your questions, please post your questions.
We have one question, Dr. Frankson.
I have a few questions here too myself, but let me hear a question from somebody.
Question says, is it possible to come off HBP medication once you have started?
All right, let's let Dr. Berry have a first go at that. Dr. Berry, you go right ahead. Is it possible to come off of high blood pressure medicines after you have started?
Okay. If a doctor doesn't have the goal of getting you off high blood pressure medications, find another doctor. Because the goal is not to be on medication. The goal is to live the life how God wanted to. But I have patients who do not follow my advice. No, they don't follow my advice. Therefore, I have to put them on medications to maintain their life. But the goal of every physician should be to get you off the medications. And if you follow these 10 steps, your doctor, remember, don't do any exercise program unless you talk to your doctor first. But if you follow these 10, your blood pressure will start coming down. The doctor should then slowly get you off these medications. There are certain medications, like the ones called beta blockers. These should never be stopped abruptly. Do not practice medicine by yourself. I'm giving you advice, but talk to your doctor. And if I said, if he can't help you or she can't help you, find somebody else. So yes, the answer is absolutely, you change your lifestyle, change your diet, your blood pressure will come down. Get the blood pressure machine and show your doctor your blood pressure is coming down, and he can get you off the medications in a way that is safe for you.
And actually, the way that you get your blood pressure down is to practice those same 10 principles.
Now, I need to tell you, you're a young person, and suppose you're age 40, 50, and you have high blood pressure. Those young people who have high blood pressure, and I call 40, 50 young person, be very careful. 98% of people who have high blood pressure, it's called idiopathic hypertension, meaning we don't know what the cause is. That's 98%. But 2% of people who have, we can find the cause, take care of the cause, and cure hypertension. Cure hypertension. People who have what's called a pheochromocytoma, Addison's disease, aldosterone, Cushing's disease, coarctation aorta, renal artery stenosis. These are diseases. If I see a patient and they're 40, 50, or 20, and they have high blood pressure, something is wrong, I'll do certain tests to find out treatable causes of hypertension. And I find the cause, I cure the cause, I cure high blood pressure. So if you're a young person and have high blood pressure, that should not happen. Talk to your doctor about the treatable causes of hypertension.
Now, another question for you here, Dr. Berry. Suppose you are doing all of these things and you are taking your medications, if you're also on medication, can you sometimes take a break from taking your medications because you're taking all of these things, or should you be regular and consistent with it?
Okay, you should be consistent with it unless you talk to your doctor and develop a form. Sometimes I have patients who are on this special diet, the 10 goes down here, and they are losing weight. And I said, okay, for the weekend, if you're under less stress, don't take the medications, but keep a record of it. Every one of my patients has my personal iPhone number. I tell them they can call me day or night, 24/7. I'm on the beach in the Bahamas, and a phone call came from North Carolina. A patient wanted medications. Guess what I did? I answered the phone, and I took care of it. 24/7. All my patients have access to me 24/7. So I tell them, okay, if there's a problem, keep your blood pressure under control. Monitor your blood pressure. If you fast for Saturday and Sunday, don't take medications, and your blood pressure goes up, call me immediately, and we'll adjust it. So the answer to that is yes, under the supervision of a physician. You guys
Excellent.
have practitioners here,
Excellent. Any other questions coming in?
Another question somebody's asking, you're going to be a vegetarian, but what about fish?
Okay. That was the third one. Thank you. Okay, there's the lacto-ovo-vegetarian, Dr. Scavalla. There's the vegan, and there's this thing called a pescatarian. A pescatarian is a vegetarian who eats fish. I don't understand that. If it had a mother, you shouldn't be eating it. But there are people, and this is a pescatarian is a vegetarian that eats fish. I don't consider them vegetarians. But there's that thing. Fish to get omega-3 fatty acid. You see, if you're a vegan, you lack a vitamin. You guys, vegan, you don't eat end products of animals. And if you're vegan, vitamin B12 is lacking. Vitamin B12 is not found in plants, vegetables, or fruit. It's only found in animal protein. So many vegans suffer from a lack of vitamin B12. In fact, Loma Linda University did a study of over 50,000 individuals. Most of them were Adventists. And they found out that the people who test were the lacto-ovo and the pescatarians, not the vegans. The lacto-ovo and the pescatarians did better in their health than the vegans. And we believe there's a link somehow to the vitamin B12. So I tell all my vegan patients to take a vitamin B12 supplement at least once a week. And that will supply the vitamin B12. So if you want to be a vegetarian and eat something that had a mother, then become a pescatarian.
Okay, and eating fish, we see evidence for it in the Bible, and we grew up eating it, so it's gonna be a tough one to break.
Oh, yeah. I used to love escovitch fish. I have to, I love it. But remember, fish also has mercury, so you got to make sure it's not grown in a pool, that it is in the sea and also way out in the sea, because that's fishing. And we brought back like 50 large fish, and everyone we opened up had worms in it. Everyone we opened up had worms in it.
Wow. Let me switch. Let me first. I have a question, but let me first hear if anybody has another question.
Somebody was asking about how do we relate to this matter of supplements in regards to, and I think Dr. Berry just touched on it. Maybe
touched on it. Yes, he touched on it. Do you want to say more on it, Dr. Berry?
In regards to the high blood pressure.
Yeah, I would rather we eat the fruit itself.
Excellent.
I'd rather that. But if you can't, you go in I believe God like a grape. Grape seed by itself is supposed to have some medicinal purposes. But we found out it's not the grape seed, it is the whole grape. Because it appears that the flesh of the grape that needs to react with what's in the seed. So you can't just eat the seed or the grape by itself. You got the flesh. You got to eat both of them. I chew my grapes when I eat grapes. Everything I chew. I don't spit out the seed. I eat everything. So I would rather you eat the fruit than you eat the vitamins.
Okay, let me ask my question now.
And then we have two more that we can take after that are here, Doc.
All right, sir. We're making good through, and I like how Dr. Berry gets to the point and just keeps it nice and tight. Thank you so much, Dr. Berry. Here's a question for you. If I have diabetes, does that increase my chance to get high blood pressure?
The answer is yes. In fact, according to the Mayo Clinic, all diabetics should be on a blood pressure pill called an ACE inhibitor. Now, let me say two things about this. The ACE inhibitor is a group of blood pressure pills that seems to dilate the blood vessels in our kidneys and cause more blood to flow to our kidneys, preventing problems from the diabetes. But guess what the COVID virus grabs when it attacks a cell? Guess what the COVID virus links onto on the surface of cells? It's called an ACE2. It is the thing that we're trying to prevent. The COVID virus grabs onto an ACE receptor and starts multiplying in the cell. But all diabetics should be on an aspirin, a baby aspirin every day. It should be on an ACE inhibitor and should be on a statin, cholesterol medication, because all these studies have shown, it's called a heart protection study by Duke and Hill. Heart protection study shows aspirin, a baby aspirin, and ACE blood pressure medication, and statin, Zocor or simvastatin, are needed for people who are diabetic. However, pressure under control, you can reduce ACE inhibitor to the lowest level that you can find. So yes, high blood pressure and diabetes go along together.
Okay, thank you so much. What about that first of those two questions?
The first one says, why does it seem that vegetarians crave sugar? Why does it seem that vegetarians crave sugar?
Because inside every person, there's a fat man or woman and a skinny or woman. And the fat person overthrow the skinny person. They're trying to get the skinny person. And the fat person is doing his best to eat more because he wants to be like that. The skinny person is not standing up. It's being abused by the fat person. The skinny person has to stand up and say, no, 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 I'll not do that. As we lose weight, the body tries to compensate because it thinks we're starving ourselves. That is why we drink the water. We eat. You don't not eat except on Wednesday afternoons. If the body thinks it's going into starvation, it will stimulate chemicals in your body called leptins. that's another thing I want you to look up. Leptins, Leptins. Look up when you get a chance, Leptin. Leptin is a hormone that is secreted, and it makes you feel hungry. If you are starving, the leptin level is very high and causes you to eat more. So the leptin in our body is what causes us to want to eat. If we can control that leptin, oh, by the way, everything I'm saying cannot be done unless you add the Lord to it. I could not stop drinking Coca-Cola without giving me a miracle. Because every time I'm driving and pass a gas station, the Coca-Cola is calling out to me, come get some Coca-Cola. It's calling out to me, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. So I said, Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Give me strength not to drink the Coca-Cola. The Lord's involvement to whatever I'm doing here, saying here. So yes, you will have the urges. When you have the urge, run up the stairs, do some exercise, get the sweat going, and then that will help you.
Can
Okay.
we have the second question?
Yes, I got asthma as an adult. I hate prednisone. I always get it when I have a flare. It makes me gain weight. So I don't take it now. When I get sick, I get better, but it takes longer. I struggle working out because I am breathless. I hate going to the gym. All the classes are too fast-paced. So any recommendations for exercise advice for asthmatics? I don't have high blood pressure and I'm not diabetic, just fat.
Thank the Lord for that.
Okay, well, for asthma, I think you have exercise-induced asthma. If you had it as an adult, it's exercise-induced asthma. And they are inhaled. Prednisone is a good medication, but it causes you to gain weight, it shoots your blood sugar up, and it suppresses your immune system. Remember, we're trying to protect our immune system. So prednisone is a drug that I use on my patients who are especially COPD and very bad asthmatics. But there are inhalers, we call it Cerevet, I don't know what you call it there. There are inhalers you can take that will give you some prednisone, but directly into your lungs. So there are medications you can talk to your doctor about this. Now I need to tell you, losing the weight, becoming a vegetarian will help you with your asthma.
Yes.
Weight, becoming a vegetarian will help you with your asthma. Let me tell you a little miracle. I had a patient who had Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is a inflammatory disease of the bowels. And every 2 weeks, I had to put her in a hospital because she was bleeding through her rectum. Every 2 weeks, I put her in a hospital. I gave her prednisone. I gave her medications. I gave her fluids. I had to transfuse her many times. Well, every patient I put in the hospital about 5 or 6 years ago, I put on a vegetarian diet. Not only did I put them on a vegetarian diet, but I also make them watch the movie that I bought for the hospital called Forks Over Knives. I had to watch the video. I put a vegetarian diet. I put her on a vegetarian diet. She had Crohn's disease. When she left the hospital, she continued the vegetarian diet, the lacto-ovo vegetarian diet. I have not had to put her in a hospital for the past 5 years. She no longer bleeds. There's a study that seems to suggest that eating meat causes inflammation in your system, in your bowels. And remember those chemicals, chemicals that are bad for the body? Well, it causes that. I have not had to put her in a hospital. She's still a vegetarian. She doesn't eat any meat at all. And she's doing exceptionally well. She's not a vegan yet because she drinks some milk sometimes. But I'm telling you, this what God gave us before the flood is essential for us to have good health. And if you try it, if you're an asthmatic, if you're overweight, become a vegetarian, lose the weight, and you may not have to use the medications.
Now, you said that one of the wonderful things that you could do to remind you of what your blood pressure is to actually take your blood pressure. How often should you do this? All day or just once a day or 2 times a day or once a week? And how much should you rest, sit down quietly before you actually take that blood pressure?
What I recommend is when you get up in the morning, go have a good bowel movement. Before you eat breakfast, you're down, check your blood sugar and your blood pressure then. Sit down, rest for at least minimum 3 minutes to take your blood pressure. And when you take the blood pressure, record it. Do not take your blood pressure after you exercise because it's going to be high. So when you're relaxed, 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, take your blood pressure, and it is best to use the one that goes in the upper arm. It should be close to the level of your heart. If you're using the wrist blood pressure machine, don't hold it down at your waist. Hold it close to your heart. Well, follow the instructions, first of all. The instructions will tell you how to use it. Hold it close to your heart if you do it that way. And take your blood pressure, write down your blood pressure before breakfast. And then anytime during the day, if you want to check your blood pressure, you can do that. The point is, do it at least 3 times a week. That's the minimum. I tell my patients to have a record and bring to me every day a blood pressure done in the morning. And I keep it in their chart because I can see how they're doing through the time. And let me tell you, I can know when I can tell them when they had potato chips and when they had the salted whatever they had that had salt in it. I can tell them because I can see it right there.
That is so true and so insightful. So don't obsess over it, but do it at about 3 times a week or maybe 4 or so, but don't get taking it all day. Go find something else to do, right? To live your life. Okay, now tell me some of, well, I'm gonna ask folks to ask other questions and see but please tell me some of the complications of high blood pressure, because usually when you have high blood pressure, you don't feel it. Until maybe it's too late, but they say it's a silent killer, don't they? So how is it killing us? What are some of the complications?
That's important. High blood pressure is known as the silent killer. My patients say, I feel fine. They walk out the door and they drop dead. What do you do, doctor, when a patient comes to your office, leaves your office, and drops dead, leaving your office? What do you do?
Mm-hmm. You don't...
They're coming into the office. That was okay. Okay. High blood pressure is the silent killer. It causes your heart muscle to get larger than it should be. And because of that, the blood cannot be forced around the heart as it should. It causes hypertrophy of the heart muscle. If you have high blood pressure and cholesterol that's clogging the arteries, the blood pressure is not sufficient. It hits off part of that cholesterol. The cholesterol goes downstream, blocks small vessels. You can have a stroke, or if it's in the heart, you can have a heart attack. So high blood pressure leads to heart attack and to stroke. And also, if it's happening in the kidneys, kidney failure prevention dialysis. The leading cause of dialysis is high blood pressure, not diabetes.
Interesting. And it can damage the blood vessels to your eyes as well, right?
Look, it causes hemorrhage in the eyes. The diabetes and high blood pressure can cause hemorrhages in the eyes.
Yes, and that can worsen your vision. And really, it's something of an emergency when it gets that high. Now,
blood pressure is 80 over 110. I'll ask them a few questions. Do you have any chest pain? Do you have any breath? Do you have any changes? Do you have any numbness of your fingers or toes? These are called end organ. I will immediately call 911 and put him in a hospital.
Yes.
So Dr. Frankson, I have one last question here. And
okay, fire away.
Somebody is suggesting that maybe high blood pressure and diabetes are twins when it comes twin medical problems. How do they go together, or do they? What's your position on that, Doc?
Well, that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was telling you to go ahead, but let me just say a quick little thing. Hypertension, people who are hypertensive, a lot of them eventually develop diabetes because of the same laws of health that they're breaking. And one of the chief ones is increasing in the amount of fat that you have in your diet. Your fat in your diet can interfere with the little gate that bring the sugar over from the bloodstream into the cells, and it can prevent the cells from getting the sugar. It piles up in the blood, and your blood pressure, your blood sugar goes higher. But also the other way around, if you have diabetes at first, and then you develop hypertension afterwards, it increases your chance of getting all those things that Dr. Berry just talked about. Dr. Berry, add to that, please.
Diabetes means that there's too much sugar in your blood. In fact, the way they found out diabetes was they removed the pancreas of dogs and they noticed that the urine of the dogs attracted ants, flies, and bees because the urine was full of sugar. So in diabetes, your body has a lot of sugar. The problem is that it's not getting into the cells. There's a gate that opens up and allows sugar to get into the cell. This gate is opened by a gate person called insulin. Insulin is a gatekeeper that opens up the gate of each cell and allows sugar to get into the cell. Well, there are two types of diabetics. There's the insulin-dependent diabetic and the non-insulin-dependent diabetics, or type 1 and type 2. The majority of individuals have the type 2, meaning that they produce some insulin, there's some gatekeepers there, but not enough for all the cells in your body. Now, if you're obese, if your BMI is above 25, your BMI is in 30, the body mass index means you're obese. There's so many gates on the cell that are not opened, not enough sugar gets in. Therefore, the insulin is not enough for all these gates. Therefore, you got to take supplements like metformin or Amaryl or glucotrol. These are pills that reduce your blood sugar. Now, diabetes by itself destroys the lining of blood vessels. So the high sugar causes the lining of blood vessels, your arteries, your arterioles, your capillaries to be damaged. So that when you have damaged blood vessels and you have high blood pressure, the damaged blood vessel breaks. It causes bleeding into your brain, into your heart, into your kidneys, all over the place. So diabetes and high blood pressure go together. What we need to do is lower the amount of gates on these adipose tissues or these fat cells by reducing your weight. I have had patients who were type 2 diabetics, meaning that their pancreas produced some insulin, but not enough. I put them on metformin, which is a drug that they take twice a day. I put them on the 10 ways of losing weight and getting the weight off. They lost the weight. They came off the metformin. Now take no medications because fat cells are so small that there are enough gatekeepers to open the gate to produce, to get the, and they become vegetarians. There are enough gatekeepers to open the gate to allow insulin into the body.
Beautiful. Well, Dr. Berry, you have covered a wide variety of things today.
I did diabetes too, almost.
Yes, we started to walk down the road for diabetes. So it's going to be a natural continuum later on. I look forward to that. But thank you so much. We really appreciate this. And folks, we thank you for your questions. And we hope the answers were actually meaningful to you. I know I understood them, but I'm a doctor, so it's unfair. But I hope that you understood them just as easily as well.
There was a question that came up, sir. What about fat vegetarians?
What about fat vegetarians? Okay.
I am not perfect. And I bet you the person who said that was a skinny person. I won't judge. But there people who are struggling with their weight.
I'm slim. No, I'm obese. My BMI is over 30.
But I'm telling you, I lost 100 pounds by becoming a vegetarian. Listen, let me tell you what I did. I stopped drinking Coca-Cola for 8 weeks and lost 6 pounds. Just by stopping drinking Coca-Cola because of the sugar content. So don't judge me.
My challenge is bread.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Bread and peanut butter. Oh, yes. But as I told you, according to weight with my bread, no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. So no bread. And do you guys use cornbread?
We don't eat cornbread, we eat bread. Wheat bread, sliced bread, but it's still bread. We put bread and avocado, bread and peanut butter. We like pastries, coconut tart, pineapple tart, that kind of stuff. But I won't eat anything else. And if I'm hungry, if I can't find anything, I'm going to eat a sandwich or eat cereal or eat something on top of bread.
But get some.
Do you exercise a lot?
No, we don't.
Let it.
That's what you need to add to that.
Did you hear what I said? Use lettuce as your bread. Put the peanut butter on a piece of lettuce and put another lettuce on top of it and eat that. No, you can't eat peanut butter. That's too much sugar. But for 4 weeks, I've asked you, and I'm going to put my email address. My email address is rgberry@yahoo.com. rgberry@yahoo.com. I want to challenge you for 2 things. The first thing is this. Become a vegetarian for 4 weeks and text me in 4 weeks how much weight you've lost and have you enjoyed. 4 weeks, text me how much weight you've lost and have you enjoyed. Another thing I want to test on Sabbath, I want you to not use Facebook or Instagram on Sabbath for 4 weeks. Fast from Instagram and Sabbath for 4 weeks and text me, rgberry@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we really had fun there. I'm going to turn it over now to our next person, and I want to thank all of you again once more for participating in this part of our town hall meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Frankson. Thank you, Dr. Berry. Right now, it's time for me to just reiterate to those of you who are watching on Zoom, you're on our Facebook page live, and I trust our YouTube channel, that we will be happy to have you with us in the future, and you'll hear more about that in just a minute. But our program this evening is sponsored by Janae's Uniform Shop, and they have donated these masks, and these are for our guests who are visiting with us. I see 2 of them tonight, Michelle Black and Gina Archer. And so if you would reach out to me at 422-0158, I'll be more than happy to give you your free mask. Okay, and there's also Monty, who's one of our guests. And so we have, I have up to 7 for 7 guests tonight. So if you're a guest, you're not a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, you're a visiting guest, we want to give you one of these. We have 7 of them to give you tonight. And so you can contact me at 422-0158 and make arrangements to pick up your mask that will give you 78% protection. Because it's not an N95 mask, all right? But 78% is pretty good. It's still a passing mark. All right, Michelle Black. All right. All right. So just send me your number. If you're on the chat, you can actually put your number on the chat and we will give that to you. And we have other gifts to give you in the future. You'll hear more about that. Again, these are sponsored by Janae's Uniform Store. And we're thankful to them for giving us these as gifts to give out to you, because we want you to be healthy and to be happy. All right. So please continue to be a part of this event. You're going to hear more about it. This is just the beginning. And as you come, we'll have goodies to share with you, because we want you to be healthy and to be happy. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you. I'll be back over to our host.
Sister Rebecca?
You have to unmute your mic, Brother Boswick.
Sister Rebecca, it's time for you to chime in at this time.
Okay, good evening. I was just waiting for the prayer hotline to go. Tonight, we've learned a lot about physical health, and financial health is also very important. So I would like to invite all of you to come back here next Wednesday at the same time, and we'll be hearing from our own Sister Catherine Gibson about financial planning, budgeting and creating your own business. You know, Proverbs 13:22 says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you back here on Wednesday evening, next Wednesday evening, talking about financial planning.
We now reached the end of this session, and we would like to close this informative meeting with prayer. Father in heaven, we are thankful once again that we are able to come to you through the method of Zooming. We want to reach the world, so we have to use different methods. We are thankful, dear Lord, to Dr. Berry, as she shared with us the importance of good health in terms of our health as well. Therefore, we are always thankful at what you have given us through your health message, if only we would apply. Jesus, be with us now as we move on and strengthen us each and every day. For this thing to be asked in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And remember,
Amen.
your growth continues here. Have a pleasant good night.
Just one thing, Brother Boswick, we need to remind the folk that if they'd like prayer, as Dr. Berry mentioned, we need to connect with God in this regard. If you're struggling, one of the main ingredients is to call upon the Lord. And here at the Zoom event, as we continue next week, we have our prayer team that's available for prayer. You can put your requests in the chat along with your numbers, and our prayer team will be contacted and will be able to pray for you and with you. So please keep this in mind as we go forward. If you would like prayer, you're struggling with a particular issue, much prayer, much power. So just put it in the chat, put your name there and your requests, and we will get to you in that regard. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Dr. Berry.
Good night.
Folks. Hey, Rashad.
It was very good. Excellent program. Little Piggy says, excellent program.
Thank you.
I agree with you, Sister Joan. Excellent program.
Okay, thank you, Abigail. We are you still there? We've gotten the contacts for those who have registered as our guests this evening, and we lift our hands in total praise. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place, as we talk about our financial concerns.
Good night, Pastor.
Our winners, Sister Molly, Wendy Molly, Michelle Black, Monty, and Gina Archer. So we have your mass for us. Give us a call, 422-0158 or 364-7580. Good evening and God bless. We're going to sign off now.